morning, hello, and welcome to This Day in History, aka TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by other historians, but mainly things we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the smart device application Today in History, What Happened Today in History, historical calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music, anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am Aoxander, and today I'm joined by...
Guerrera.
And Logie like him.
And we also have Alice, who is currently at work, so she's going to be, popping in and out whenever she can. Anyway, today is Freya's Day, aka Friday, May 26, 2023. Who wants to start us off today?
Let's go. I'm ready.
All right. Go for it, Carrera.
Oh, I've got to
Okay.
bring up my
Well, while he's
thing.
doing that, Loki, do you want to start?
451, the Battle of Avaria. No, Avaria. Between Armenian rebels and Sassanid Empire takes place. The Armenians are defeated militarily, but are guaranteed freedom to openly practice Christianity.
All right.
Cool,
Yeah,
I guess.
that is one of the things Saladin is known for. He is a Muslim, but he allowed people to practice their religions. Like what a concept. Openly practicing, something else, and allowing people their freedoms.
Sounds like somewhat of a decent fellow.
Oh yeah, it really is too bad that a lot of Muslims today can't act the way that he did, at least in that regard. Because he did kill a lot of Christians. So, I better watch what I say. But anyway, what else do we have here?
Did they fight back?
What? Well, yeah, they did.
Oh, we're doing 15. You got 3, bro. Go.
Yep.
Jeez, chill. 1526, 4 remaining ships of the Spanish La Loaiza expedition sail into the Pacific Ocean. Soon be separated in a storm. Only one will successfully cross to reach the Spice Islands.
Ah. All right.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Maritime travel, really.
Sad only one.
Go ahead.
1538, Geneva expels John Calvin and his followers from the city. Calvin lives in exile in Strasbourg for the next 3 years.
Yep. John Calvin was a Protestant reformer and theologian, so religious differences, persecution, stuff like that. What were we just talking about? Freedom of religion from Saladin?
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
yep.
A lot of people don't practice that.
Yeah. Carrera, would you like to take a turn?
Yeah, of course. Pick one.
I did. 1637 here.
1637, Mystic Massacre. In the first battle of the Pagan War in Connecticut, about 500 Native Americans killed by Colonel forces.
Dang.
Wow.
That's not cool. Bunch of natives just murdered. Yikes. Huh.
All right, 1647. Alice Young becomes the first person executed as a witch in the American colonies when she was hanged in Hartford, Connecticut.
Yikes. Huh. And here we go again, more religious stuff.
All right, 1647, Massachusetts disavows priest access to colony.
No, disallowed. They didn't disembowel. They disallowed.
Yeah, they didn't take their organs.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yikes. Moving on up to 1736, we got the Battle of Acquia in Louisiana. British and Chickasaw Indians defeated the French. All right.
Oh, the French Canadian Wars?
I don't know. This was out in Louisiana, which was a French territory at the time.
You guys are saying it wrong. It's the claws.
Chickasaw, yeah. My bad. And we also have 1770, the Orlov Revolt, a first attempt to revolt against the Turks before the Greek War of Independence ended in disaster for the Greeks. So, Greeks trying to get their independence from the Turks. And then we also have 1781, Bank of North America incorporates in Philadelphia. All right. And back to Mr. Loki.
Alright, 1790. Territory south of River Ohio, created by U.S. Congress.
Huh. All right.
Nice.
Expanding out to the west. And then here we go.
1805. Lewis and Clark first sight the Rocky Mountains.
Nice.
Nice, indeed.
Also,
18... Sorry?
I'm sorry, John Candy and what's his name? Matthew, what's his name from Friends? Did a really good movie, and it's funny as hell about that.
Lewis and Clark?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice. Also, 1805, Napoleon Bonaparte? Bonaparte?
Yeah.
Is crowned
Bonaparte.
King of Italy.
These are the claw.
He is a Chickasaw.
I am not good with French.
Yeah. Napoleon Bonaparte. You know, I'm surprised you don't know that name. That's really famous.
I've heard Napoleon, I just never heard, like, his last name.
Okay.
Yeah, his last name is never really said that I've heard.
Huh. Well, all right.
So usually people are just like, hey, it's Napoleon. This is about Napoleon.
Emperor Bonaparte. When did he become Italian? Although he was, he just became king of Italy. So, Napoleon Bonaparte. Put him in a can and say that he's ravioli. I don't know. Anyway, Mr. Carrera, 1824.
Brazil is recognized by the U.S.
Huh. All right.
Weird.
This one.
Like, recognized as a country?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, that went like don't highlight it for me because.
Oh no, I highlight it so you know what I want next, and then I unhighlight it so you can read it better.
All right, 1828. Mysterious feral child Kaspar Hauser is discovered wandering the streets of Nuremberg.
Dang, a feral child. Like,
Jeez.
could you imagine, like, being an orphan, or like even, I don't know what's worse, being an orphan or having your parents just throw you to the streets. Either way is awful. But like just being a kid and just going alone in the world, and going feral, like that's, because you're not around other people and you're not learning how to talk, you're not learning mannerisms, like figuring out how society works. You just kind of left alone, and that's frightening. Like, there's many cases of feral children and people and whatnot out there. So, but what else do we got? Ooh, Dred Scott. Here we go.
Is this mine?
Yep, this is your third.
Alright, 1857, U.S. slave Dred Scott and family freed by owner Henry Taylor Law. Only 3 months after the U.S. courts ruled against them in Dred Scott versus Sanford, sorry.
Yeah. Dred Scott versus Sanford. Let's take a look at that real quick. Let's bring that up here. Dred Scott versus Sanford. It was a landmark decision of the U.S. Supreme Court that held the U.S. Constitution did not extend African citizenship to people of black African descent, and thus they could not enjoy the rights and privileges the Constitution conferred upon U.S. citizens. So they ruled in favor of slavery, it sounds like. And that is absolutely appalling, but, you know, like, different times, like, different beliefs, different ways of you know, handling things, but still.
At least it was corrected.
Yeah. And, you know, despite the Supreme Court ruling, like, in favor of slavery, you know, Henry Taylor Blow freed them. So, you know, that's really cool. Moving on up to 1860, Giuseppe Garibaldi occupied Palermo in Italy, and he was the unifier of Italy. Like, a lot of people don't realize that Italy has gone through at least 2, maybe 3 different types of unification. You know, the Romans unified Italy way back in the day, and then they dissolved back into little parcels, apparently. And then this guy unified them again back in the like mid to late 1800s. Looks like because he's going to Sicily here. Palermo is in Sicily. That's the island. So sounds like he already like unified most of mainland Italy, which is pretty cool. Well, we also have 1 year later, in 1861, Union blockades towns of New Orleans and Mobile. Yep, we during the Civil War, we blockaded them, choked them out. You know, like.
Oh, the Louisiana Purchase.
No, that was before that. Louisiana Purchase has already been done by this time. But when was the Louisiana Purchase? When was the Louisiana Purchase? It was 1803. So,
damn.
Yeah. Well, because Napoleon was starting a whole campaign to conquer all of Europe, and so he didn't have the military manpower to defend Louisiana anyway, so we could have very well just gone in and taken it, and he couldn't have really done anything because he was already, like, fighting with, you know, Spain and Prussia and England and all those places. But, like, he sold it to us. So, that's why that happened. In order to fund his military campaigns and whatnot. Anyway, while that was going on in 1861 as well, U.S. Postmaster General Blair announced end of postal connection with the South. So, no more mail for you. And then 1864, the territory of Montana was formed. All right. And back to Mr. Loki. Here you go.
All right, 1868, U.S. President Andrew Johnson is acquitted by the Senate by 1 vote during his impeachment trial.
Woo! That was close.
Only 1.
Yikes. Every vote matters, you know? I mean, let's not forget...
Was he a bad president or something?
No,
I don't remember this guy.
I don't know the exact semantics, but there was a lot of squabbles with the original founding fathers. Like, and it got to the point where, like, I think it was Andrew Johnson and Alexander Hamilton actually had a duel. And I think Hamilton won. So.
Yeah, he did. He shot him in the chest.
Yep. No.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. What else do we have here? Where'd it go? 1887. Well, you can. Well, that's cricket, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
There you go.
1887, racetrack betting becomes legal in New York State.
Huh.
Well, that's good, I guess.
I mean,
not good for people's pocket.
if people want to gamble, they're going to gamble. legal or otherwise.
Yeah.
Like, it's better to just make things legal and, take tax revenue, and, like, if it's a serious problem, like, drugs, then actually provide help that people need. Don't just throw them in prison,
Exactly.
But, like...
Ironically, I just found out that Minnesota became the first state to legalize all forms of paraphernalia.
Huh.
All forms.
Wow.
Probably getting ready for you, Alice.
I don't live in Minnesota anymore. I live out in the great state of PA.
Yeah, but you're still a Minnesota girl.
Yeah, but I'm not going to go out there and buy all the paraphernalia I can get.
It's weird. For someone who was born in Wisconsin, you love Minnesota a lot.
Shut the fuck up! I am not Wisconsin. I'm from Minnesota, born and raised, baby.
Like what I would love to happen is if we ever do become big and we have like a whole event and everything, I would love for a whole group of people to come up and say, "Oh, hey, it's a Wisconsinite," and just Alice just like, yeah. I would love that. I would die.
When I meet you in person, the first thing I'm gonna do is slap you in the face for calling me that. and then I'll give you a hug going, "It's so good to see you."
Fuck's sakes.
Well, it's so good to see you. Totally typical womanhood right there.
Alright, what else do we got here?
500,000 days of womanhood. Ha, in your face, Mulvaney.
We got a coronation.
Oh.
Go for it.
Alright, 1896, last Tsar of Russia, Nicholas II, crowned.
Alright. Miss Alice, do you have some time to read now that we got you?
Yeah. Provided I don't cut in and out, but yes.
Okay.
Let me see here. Let me just get into the screen share here. Where are we at? What year?
1897.
1897! We got Dracula has been published. Dracula by Irish author Bram Stoker is published by Archibald Constable and Company in London.
Huh. All right.
So the first story... Hey, fly, get the hell away from my fried rice. Shoe fly, don't bother me. Anyways, then we got in 1898, San Francisco approves city charter allows municipal ownership of utilities.
Ah.
And then in 1904, in 2 days of bitter fighting, the Japanese army soundly defeats the Russians at Kerchen and what? Oh, okay. Oh, it got a little funky there. Whoa. It just became hieroglyphics for me for a second here.
Oh god.
Soundly defeats the Russians in Cochrane and captures the forts at Nansan.
All right.
Yep, there's my three.
All right. Carrera.
What do you want? Oh. Why do you do this to me?
Because it's funny.
If you don't want to read, that's fine.
1906 Archaeological Institute of America forms.
Well, let's see him read this one. Oh God, here we go.
Oh Lord.
You actually want me to do that?
I want you to say it.
I want you to suffer.
I love you for it, but I'm gonna do it. 1908, Al Masjid Solomon, whatever the fuck that is.
That's Arabic.
In Southwest Persia, the first major commercial oil strike in the Middle East is made. Rights acquired by the United Kingdom.
Oh man. Yep. White man coming in taking oil. There we go.
That must
We want our oil.
have been BP.
Yeah.
But also, let's not forget what BP did to the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, dude. Like I saw a meme where BP, British Petroleum, posted a tweet or something about like be sure to be mindful about your environment. It's like, you are not the people to tell me about that. All right, you've done
Yeah,
more damage to
you
the
guys have the
environment than
most
I ever will in my whole life, and more.
You
memory
have the
serves me
biggest
correctly,
oil
you guys,
spill
did
in
not
the
know.
Gulf of Mexico, and you can kiss my ass.
Yeah. Anyway,
You made
Mr.
shrimp
Carrera.
boulders help clean up your mess.
Yeah.
No,
Shit.
I want to go back up because there was a Jew thing that I want to do.
Oh, I saw that, the Belarusian.
Yeah.
Read it.
Holy shit, I can't wait to try this. Come
on, Carrera. Time is of the
pogrom
essence.
against Jews in the Minsk of Belushia.
Yeah. A pogrom.
Belarusia.
Yeah.
It's an pogrom. Yeah. It's in Belarus, in Minsk, Belarus, but it was called Belarusia because back then.
Yeah. And a pogrom is a violent riot incited with the aim of massacring or expelling an ethnic or religious group, particularly Jews. The term entered the English language from Russia to describe 19th and 20th century attacks on Jews in the Russian Empire. So, and Belarus might have been in the Russian Empire at the time. I don't know.
Yes, it was.
All right.
It was. Belarus was part of Soviet Union, and so was Ukraine. Actually, I can tell you this because I used to remember when I was a caretaker, a home health aide, I used to take care of a guy who was Ukrainian. He's from one of the few towns that still has Jews in it, and he told me stories about the purge of Jews in Russia.
Funny thing, I learned actually from a random video last night, the voice actor of May Griffin was born in Ukraine.
Yeah.
So
was what's her name? Who's married to Ashton Kutcher? Mila Kovitz, or whatever her name is.
Mila Kunis?
She was born in Ukraine.
Oh, Mila Kunis?
Yeah, she's born in Ukraine.
Huh. All right.
Yeah, she speaks fluent Russian. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have a couple more Russian things. Alice, you're talking about how there's people as part of the USSR and whatnot. We have right here, 1918, Georgian Social Democratic Republic declared independence from Russia. All right. And then 1919, the Supreme Council of Allies, meeting at Versailles, decided to recognize two white Russian leaders, Admiral Kolchak and General Denikin, and support them against the Bolsheviks. And this was the Bolsheviks, I believe, were the start of the USSR.
Yeah, Anastasia and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And then speaking of Bolsheviks, 1922, Vladimir Lenin suffered a stroke. Let me play the world's smallest violin. Well, anyway, Miss Alice, back to you, 1923.
All right. Well, in 1923, inaugural 24 hours of Le Mans endurance race for cars. Keep over to who's online right now.
You got all robot-y there.
Sorry. So the inaugural 24 hours of Le Mans endurance race for cars starts through public roads around Le Mans, France. Inaugural winners André Lachey and René Léonard from France for Chenard and Welker.
Huh. So the inaugural Le
Chiclois,
Mans.
I tell you.
And Le
Yep,
Mans is
Chiclois, I tell you.
Le Mans is one of the more prestigious races. Like, it's a 24-hour endurance race and all that stuff. So,
Yeah. And then we also have in 1924, Coolidge restricts immigration. U.S. President Calvin Coolidge signs immigration law restricting immigration.
all right.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
The world's largest violin.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, the
Well,
world's largest electric guitar. Yeah, badass. Da-da-da-da. Oh,
That's just a bass guitar.
yeah.
It's like a 48-string bass guitar.
48 string. Oh my god.
But no, like, look, I'm all for immigration. It's just as long as you do it legally.
Yeah, same here.
You know,
Like,
that's
there. Well, it's
But
not
anyway-
about legal. It's not even like about the legal aspect. It's about the proper avenues to come here. You know, because like
exactly.
If-
As long as you
If
do it
I
legally.
go-
And some people like spend years.
If I go to your country, all right, I'm pretty sure you're gonna want me to like have paperwork and get things done and do things right. So why is it when the shoe's on the other foot, you suddenly expect me to just roll out the red carpet? Oh hell no, you know?
I'm here just like anybody normal person would do it.
Yep.
But we
Anyway,
also have in 1925 here, we have a baseball history. Babe Ruth is finally out of bed 5 weeks after his ulcer surgery.
yikes. Man,
Oh, those were my three, so.
yep. Mr. Loki. Another baseball record
Alright.
here. Actually, boom, boom, boom. You have all three of yours on screen right there.
1925, future Baseball Hall of Famer center field T.Y. Cobbs is first to collect 1,000 extra base hits when he doubles in Detroit Tigers' 8-1 win against Chicago White Sox at Comiskey Park.
Huh. Good old Ty Cobb.
And 1926, Lebanon adopts constitution.
All right.
Interesting. The last Model T. 1927, Henry Ford and the Ford Motor Company produced the last and 15th million Model T Ford Tin Lizzie.
Huh, I didn't even know they had a nickname for that, the Tin Lizzie. Interesting. So. Alright. Gonna move on up to 1927 here. Let's see, where to go? Oh yeah, we got that. So 1930. Supreme Court ruled buying liquor does not violate the Constitution. Alright. That was right at the tail end of Prohibition, I believe. So. And then 10 years later, 1940, we got the first successful helicopter flight in the U.S., Volt Sikorsky US-300, designed by Igor Sikorsky. And it wasn't. That sounds Russian. Oh, a Russian-Ukrainian U.S. All right.
Yeah. Well, technically, though, right now, to this day, there's still partial prohibition.
In certain areas, yes. Isn't the county where Jack Daniels is produced a dry county?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's ironic. So,
And isn't, like, Utah a dry state?
I don't
Well,
know.
it used to be. I don't think it is anymore, but it used to be a dry state.
Those darn Mormons. Is Utah a dry state?
You used to have to drive to Wyoming to get beer.
Huh. Well, Utah is not a dry state, so. And we also
So
have
they must have repealed it.
we also got
Oh!
we got in 1941 an aircraft from the HMS Ark Royal sighted the German battleship Bismarck. Yeah, sank the Bismarck. So Extra History has a series on that. Really, really interesting stuff. And then 1941 as well, the American Flag House, the Betsy Ross's home, was given to the city of Philadelphia. All right.
Fuck yeah!
Yeah.
Go Steelers!
Okay. Mr. Loki, you got one more in
Steelers
1941
are
here.
in Pittsburgh, not Philadelphia, buddy.
Well, Alice.
Yeah, Steelers in Philadelphia, Pittsburgh.
Oh, my bad.
Well,
I was
yeah.
wrong.
The Eagles, and I hate any team that comes out of Philadelphia, so. Anywho.
But what about them Packers?
What? What about them? Fuck the Pack.
What,
Stop that. Stop with the Wisconsin jokes. Just kidding.
Cheesehead.
Yeah. Cheese and rice.
Alice, you're roboting.
I knew she was a robot. I even told you guys she's a robot.
Well, the question is she an Autobot or a Decepticon? That's the real question.
No, she's a Decepticon.
Nah, she's the mini con.
No, that's milk. Anyway, Mr. Loki, let's go back to you. 1941.
1941, German occupiers begin youth labor. Ooh.
Yeah, bottom of the barrel. So, ooh. And here we go.
Them's the rubs. 1942, Belgium Jews are required by Nazis to wear a Jewish star.
Yep.
Okay.
Yo, that's the single them out, so that way
that?
the public knows that they're the enemy. Like, as far as the consensus was back then. No, there was a lot of hate. Well, I mean, remember, like, the Nazis took over Belgium by then. Like, they went through Belgium to take France. So, yeah.
Also, anybody that gives a shit, look up the song Belgium by my boys. It's a good song.
Alright, anyway, you got a third one here, Loki, an event of interest.
1943, British Prime Minister Winston Churchill and U.S. George C. Marshall fly from the U.S. to North Africa.
Huh.
Cool.
I believe George C. Marshall was a general. I'm not sure. But anyway, what else do we got here? 1943 as well, Edwin Barclay of Liberia became the first president of a black country to visit U.S. Cool. Alright. In 1945, U.S. dropped firebombs on Tokyo. Yep. And then, let's see here, skipping over, 1959. Let's see here. Wow, a lot of stuff we're skipping, but a bunch of random things. Here we go. 1959, Harvey Haddix pitched 12 perfect innings, but still lost in the 13th. Oh, man.
Wow.
Yikes. Anyway, Mr. Loki, back to you. Where are we? 1961. Where is it? Here we go.
Freedom Ride Coordinating Committee establishes in Atlanta?
Yeah, the Freedom Ride.
Yeah, in Atlanta.
Yep. I believe this was in the vein of the, like, not really the Montgomery bus boycott, but in the vein of the idea that blacks should be allowed to ride in whatever seat, they want. So, this is, what is the Freedom Ride? Like, I don't fully know. So what was the Freedom Ride? Let's see here. Freedom Rides were civil rights activists who rode interstate buses into the segregated southern U.S. In 1961 and subsequent years to challenge the non-enforcement of the U.S. Supreme Court. Blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to add this link in the underbar of the description post-show, as I usually do. So, all right. What else do we got here? USAF 1961. Here you go.
All right. The USAF bomber flies Atlantic in a record of just over 3 hours.
Wow. The bomber.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. A bomber is one of the slower aircrafts because, it's not a fighter. It's not designed for speed. It's designed to unleash hell upon anything below it. But for it to fly over, in just over 3 hours, the whole Atlantic, that's really good. Like imagine that. Just like 100 years ago, a trip that would have taken weeks now just takes hours.
I can't eat all this. Can you?
So,
Yeah.
I hear a grandma in the background.
Grandmom's here. Everyone say hi to Grandma.
Hi, Grandma.
Hello.
Anyway, Mr. Loki, you got another one here in 63.
Right here
Yeah.
or over there.
Oh, okay. 1963, sorry. Organization of African Unity forms.
All right, let's take a look at that. Ooh. The Organization of African Unity was an intergovernmental organization established on May 25th, 1963, and in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, with 32 signatory governments. One of the main heads of for OAU's establishment was Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana. All right, so cool. Africa unifying. World better watch out.
We gotta
Africa's
go
coming.
get them.
Oh.
In like an hour.
1966, a Buddhist set himself on fire at the U.S. consulate in Hue, South Vietnam. We all know that.
Oh dear.
66.
Can you go with me to get him? Because I don't know where he's at.
Oh.
I think he's down off.
Then while that was happening, Guyana, formerly British Guyana, declared independence from the UK. All right. And then in 1967, EMI Rush released the Beatles album Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band in London and select markets in the UK. Prior to nationwide release, it would go on to be the #1 for 15 weeks in the US and 22 weeks in the UK. All right, awesome.
Wow.
That's one hell of a cover too, right there. Look at that.
That is one hell of a cover.
And if you see, the Beatles are on there twice. You got the original Beatles in their suits over here on the left, and then the Beatles in their psychedelic suits here in the middle. That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
And what else do we got here? Ooh, here you go, Mr. Loki.
1969, Apollo 10 astronauts returned to Earth.
Huh.
They return great American heroes.
Yep. And unless you want to read any of these highlighted ones. Ooh, wait a minute. This is important. I don't know why I didn't grab this.
1970, the Soviet Tupolev Tu-144 becomes the first commercial transport to exceed Mach 2.
Dang.
Wow.
Dang, commercial. That's non-military. So,
why would you need that fast?
Hey,
for commercial.
Amazon overnight, has nothing on this. Like, what was the what was that meme? Like, I love it how you can create a same day delivery at 11:50 at night and initiate a Rube Goldberg device of human suffering and pain to get your product faster.
Jesus.
It's true. But what else do we have here? Ooh, 1972. Here, this one. Ooh.
Sorry. Excuse me. 1972, U.S. President Richard Nixon and Soviet leader Leonid Brezhnev
Yep.
signed SALT Accord.
Yep. I believe that's the Strategic Arms Limitation Treaty. Limitation talks. The Strategic Arms Limitation Talks were 2 rounds of bilateral conferences and corresponding international treaties involving the U.S. and the Soviet Union. The Cold War superpowers dealt with arms control in 2 rounds or talks and agreements, SALT 1 and SALT 2. And then we also have the START, which is Strategic Arms Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty. But that's another thing. So let me add this Wikipedia underbar for later. Moving on up, what else do we got here? 1973, Bahrain adopted its constitution, and that's how you pronounce it, Bahrain. You got to get the phlegm in there, So, and then 1974, during a David Cassidy concert at London's White City, a 14-year-old was trampled and died 4 days later. Yikes! So,
oh jeez.
We were talking about concerts the other day. I don't remember if it was on or off camera, but it was on camera. Remember, what's her face? Ended up traumatizing her, and she was never going to hold a concert again or something.
Oh yeah,
Ariana Grande or whatever. I don't know.
Yes, that's her.
Was it?
Yeah,
I just
there was
pulled the name
whole.
out of my butt.
I think it was actually there was a bombing or something. I think that's what it was. There was a fire or something. Some disaster happened.
Whatever the case, in today's world, massive public gatherings are not a good place to be. All it is a target for someone who's trying to be an extremist or someone who's trying to push a false flag. It's just stay home. Stay away from mass gatherings of people because don't become a statistic. But anyway, what else do we got here? 1975, Rhinestone Cowboy, single released by Glenn Campbell, receiving the Billboard Song of that year, 1975. Cool. All right. Let's see here. What else do we got here? We got something here for you, Mr. Loki.
1977, George Willig? I can't read.
Willig, yeah.
The thing's all blurry. Willig climbs to the South Tower of New York City's World Trade Center, famously fined 1 cent for each of the 110 stories he climbed.
So he climbed the tower. Like, like you know how tall the World Trade Center was?
Yeah.
Like he climbed one of those towers, and then he had to pay a fine of $1.10. Wow.
$1.10.
Yep.
Why $1.10?
Had to pay something. Oh.
They couldn't. Oh, Jesus.
Well, think about all the smudges he made on those windows. Those nice, clean windows.
Oh, pretty sure it takes more than $1.10 to clean those.
Please, someone think of the windows. Anyway.
No.
Oh no. Not smudges on the windows.
Yo, welcome, Justin. How you doing today, man?
Yeah, I'm chilling.
All right, 1978. First legal gambling casino opens in Atlantic City.
All right.
Georgia. Shout out
Yeah.
to the Georgians out there.
Yep. I hear they have really good peaches. So,
Aren't they like a Bible state?
I think so.
Yeah.
I do know the Squidbillies are over there, too.
Yeah, they're like really biblical out there.
Yeah. You want to take any articles, Justin?
Sure. Which one we at?
1980, the Soyuz 36.
Oh, the 1980. Okay. Soyuz 36 carries cosmonauts Valery Kozlov or Kozbo. Oh my goodness, that sounds Russian. And
It
the
is.
first Hungarian in space, Bert Farkas to Slout 6.
Salyut
Whatever that
6.
is. But yeah.
I think
Russian! Yeah!
Yeah, I think Salyut 6 might have been a space station. Let me double check that. Salyut 6. It
Am
was
I
a
gonna get
space station.
canceled for that? I just realized what I just said. Am I gonna get canceled? Oh no.
Huh.
With this whole war thing going on.
Oh, yeah, well.
I shouldn't have said Russia. Never mind. Oh, Russia.
Russia.
Yeah.
Well,
Whatever.
The big boogeyman, Russia.
I think
Yeah.
I think that Russia is just Putin on a show. No, just, all puns aside. Like, they're not the best of people, but neither is Ukraine. Neither are us. Everybody has problems. Anyway, what else do we got here? 1984. Where is it? U.S. Here we go. We go 3 for 3, Justin. So you have 2 more articles to read
Oh,
if you
okay.
want. Yeah.
So, which one? The event of the interest? That one?
Yep.
Alright, 1984, U.S. President Ronald Reagan rules out U.S. military intervention in Iran-Iraq war.
Yep. And that was, I believe, the proxy war we were holding with the Russians. The Soviets were actively in Iraq, I believe, at the time, and we were using foreign armies to fight them. So, and that was the birth of the Taliban and Al Qaeda. We created them in order to fight the Russians over there. So,
Wow.
yep.
Yep.
And then Indy 500, 1985, Indianapolis 500. Danny Sullivan wins by 24 seconds from Mario Andretti after surviving famous 360-degree spin on lap 120.
Yikes.
Whoa.
That's frightening. We got 1987, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled dangerous defendants could be held without bail. All right. And we also have in 1989, U.S. radio broadcasters went silent for 30 seconds at 7:42 in the morning to honor the radio industry. I don't know what happened with that, but okay. And then 1989 as well, Danish Parliament allowed same-sex marriage. And, you know, there's been so many articles I've read about this being the first nation to do same-sex marriage. This is the first nation to elect a female as leader. Like, I've read so many First Nations being that I don't know what is the actual First Nation anymore. Like, I have a feeling that it's just been just all this propaganda and garbage, just constantly trying to rewrite history and everything. It's all a giant mess. So, that we here at the OMNI Coalition are trying to figure out. Anyway, what else do we have here? 1993, moving on up here, we got the Emmy 20th Daytime Award presentation. Susan Loki lost for the 14th time. This poor lady. Like, we've been speaking about her almost every day. Like, yesterday she didn't get
Poor
nominated.
woman.
So, you know, there was that, but I don't know what's worse, not getting nominated or getting nominated and losing constantly. Like, yikes.
Yeah, this poor lady. Just give her Emmy.
I know, right? She's like the female. I said this before. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Wait, who is she again? What is
Susan
she in?
Loki. She's an actress, TV host, and entrepreneur. And like for the past 5 days, there's always been an article about she lost for like the 15th time, 14th time, 12th time. Yesterday she wasn't even nominated.
17th time.
Yeah, this poor lady just getting reamed. So
No, but I'm saying, like, what has she been in? I mean, I'm trying to remember.
I have no idea. Susan Loki. Let's see here. Susan Loki. Let's see here.
It's not Loki, it's Lucy.
Oh, well, whatever. Movies and TV shows. Oops.
Damn. Oh, all my children. No wonder why she looked familiar. My mom used to watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Seduced and Betrayed, Devious
That's
Maids.
a soap opera. She's a soap opera actress. Okay.
The Woman Who Sinned, Deadly Affairs, Lady Mobster. I don't like all of these. Haunted by Her Past. She sounds like a frightening woman. So.
Not to come off hard, but maybe that's why nobody really recognized her. I don't know.
Anyway, while that was happening in 1993 as well, in Major League Baseball, Carlos Martinez famously hit a ball off Jose Canseco's head for a home run. What? Bonk! I gotta see if there's a picture of this. Like, let's see here. Oh yeah, that's right. He went to catch it, and it bonked off his head, and I think it went over the thing, and then he got a home run.
Guess I got distracted. I need to be careful where I'm going.
Is there a video? Here we go. Let's see if I can find videos.
I nearly got my head bonked by a tree in a minute, but I'm good.
Here we go. Looks like we already tried to watch this at one point. He's in astonishment. He doesn't believe it. Oh my goodness.
It's like, what the hell? Did it just bounce off my head?
Bonk.
Dude, I probably would have thought
Yeah,
the same
comes up
thing.
Anyway, Mr. Loki. We got another thing here. Oh, here we go. 1998.
1998. Date for Paula Jones sex harassment trial versus President Clinton. Oh dear.
Huh. And I thought he just did
I
something
did
with
not have
Lewinsky.
sexual relations with that woman.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman. And
Okay.
I swear, it's not about these women.
But that's why she was under his desk, right?
no, that was Lewinsky.
No. that line is not about any of these women.
Yeah.
It's about his wife.
Yes, yes.
Listen, we all know damn well Bill does not want to be with Hillary. He's just with her for the fame.
Yeah. Anyway,
Well, I thought that's why she was with him, because he was the president.
Let's see here. 2002. Where is it? The Mars Odyssey. Here it is. All right, there you go, Mr. Loki.
Just skip over Eminem. How dare you?
Oh, let's talk about Eminem then.
2002, Eminem releases his fourth studio album, The Eminem Show. 2002, Billboard Album of the Year, Grammy awarded Best Rap Album 2003.
All right.
He's aight, honestly. I've heard better rap.
Huh. Well, better than anything I can do. Although him and Tom McDonald,
Nope.
I'd like to have them both in the same video. That'd be cool. Like,
Oh, that'd be amazing.
yeah.
No,
Actually, no. Him, Tom McDonald, Snoop Dogg. Who else? Like, let's make the best
Jay-Z.
rap album of all time. Like,
Throw Jay-Z in there.
all right.
Nah.
Whoa, it's a lizard! Whoa, that's so cool.
What?
I see a lizard, and now it's gone.
Oh.
2002, the Mars Odyssey finds signs of large ice deposits on the planet Mars.
Ooh.
I didn't know New York had lizards or geckos. I think they're geckos. Sorry, I don't mean to.
Oh, there's lizards everywhere. New York especially would have lizards, but they would be mimicking people to try to fit in and take over. So.
Yeah, lizard people. Right, yeah, that's true.
Anyway, Justin, if you want to turn, I got one here for you in 2003.
Alright, in 2003, let's see, only 3 days after previous record, Sherpa Lakpa Galu climbs Mount Everest in 10 hours, 56 minutes. The Tourism Ministry of Nepal confirms this record in July that year.
Wow.
Wow.
That is incredible. 10 hours? Usually it takes people a week to climb that thing, and he did that in like less than half a day. Holy crap. So, this is why people
Damn.
use Sherpas. Sherpas know the land. You know, they're the guides. So,
They know what they're doing.
yep.
What's
What else do we
very
got
bad?
here?
I feel
2000s.
ignorant, but what's a Sherpa? I thought that was a jacket.
No. A Sherpa... Let me look up the actual definition. A Sherpa are one of the Tibetan ethnic groups native to the most mountainous regions of Nepal, Tingri Gundri in the Tibet Autonomous Region, you know, and stuff like that. So they're locals. Yeah.
So they basically followed a monk's guide throughout the mountains, and
No, okay.
they basically did it.
Okay, let me explain this to you, okay? You know the general area of your land, right? Like you know your house, you know your streets, you know where things are located, you understand? Like that's what a Sherpa is. A Sherpa is someone who knows the area. They understand the weather. They know, what's a good path, what's a bad path. They guide the people because they're used a lot with people who actually climb Mount Everest. They don't go up there alone. They go up there with Sherpas who are guides because they know those lands. Am I making any sense?
Yeah, I guess in a way they're the type of people that help with tourists in a way.
No.
No?
No,
Okay,
they don't help with tourism. Okay, hold on a second. Let me try to explain. What does a Sherpa do? All right. Hold on a second. What is a Sherpa Mount Everest? Okay. For a foreigner, a Sherpa means someone who carries loads at high altitudes, but Sherpas are actually all Tibetans. They are called people from the east. The Sherpas are an ethnic group who live in the high mountain region of the eastern Himalaya.
Nice.
Alright, so, and they are used by the climbers to help them climb the mountain because the climbers are foreign. They don't know the mountain. They're just there to climb it. The Sherpas know the mountain. They know the path. They know like the weather. They know where and when is a good place to climb and all that stuff. So they basically hold the hand and help you up the mountain. Am I making any sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, let's move on up here. 2004, we have the New York Times published admission of journalistic failings, claimed its flawed reporting and lack of skepticism during build-up into 2003 Iraq War helped promote belief that Iraq possessed large stockpiles of weapons of mass destruction. So all that WMD crap, that validated our involvement in Iraq, which we utilize Bin Laden's, 9/11 thing, taking down the towers to validate a war with Iraq, which had nothing to do with Al-Qaeda at all. So, but whatever, Bush just wanted to play revenge for daddy. So, but we also have 2004 as well. The United States Army veteran Terry Nichols was found guilty of 161 state murder charges for helping carry out the Oklahoma City bombing. Holy crap. That guy's done. So, and moving on up to 2012, Pope Benedict XVI's butler was arrested for allegedly leaking confidential documents. Yikes. Not good.
His butler?
His butler. Yeah.
Can't trust anybody anymore.
No.
Goddamn.
No, see, there's a lot of misconception, people fearing kings and queens and heads of states. Those are not the people you should fear. You should fear their servants, because their servants knows everything. There's even, I was watching this one video, I don't remember who it was, but, it was some royal guy, but people feared, his server because, that was the only guy allowed to go in, to the bathroom with them to, help clean him and all that stuff, and, Lord only knows, what, secrets the king told, this lowly peasant, so... It is wild. But anyway, back to Mr. Loki. What else do we got here? 2014. We're World Health. Here we go.
Alright. 2014 World Health Organization confirms that Ebola has reached Sierra Leone.
Yep. Sierra Leone. No. Ebola. Yikes.
Alright. Yeesh. That was not a fun time.
No. Oh, here we go. This one's really cool.
Oh, if the script would clear up for me.
Let me know, because it seems whenever I scroll my wheel up and down like that, it fixes it.
Yeah, there we go. I can see much clearer. Ken Wyatt becomes Australia's first Aboriginal minister in government as the Minister for Indigenous Australians.
All right. About time they got a representative of their own people,
Yeah, really. Holy crap. How long did that... only 2019?
4 years ago.
Lord.
Yeah. Yeah.
That took forever for them to get a representative.
Better late than never, but I would have preferred it to be a lot earlier than that, but yeah.
Yeah, really.
And we were just speaking of Mount Everest, and check this out.
2019 as well, 9 climbers die in a week on Mount Everest after overcrowding leads to a huge queue to reach the summit. Oh dear.
Not good. Yikes.
No bueno.
No. Moving on up to 2020, Costa Rica became the first country in Central America to legalize same-sex marriage. Alright. And 2020 as well, Twitter added warning labels to warn about inaccuracies in U.S. President Donald Trump's tweets for the first time. More propaganda. More crap. Freedom of speech. People have that right. And then 2021...
Freedom of speech with that.
Yeah. 2021, a super blood moon, the first total lunar eclipse for 2 years, was visible across the Pacific. Alright.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, and this one raised my eyebrow, Mr. Loki.
Uh-oh. 2021. Amazon says it will buy 97-year-old film and television studio Metro Goldwyn Mayer for $8.45 million.
Billion.
Or billion, sorry.
Billion. With
Good
a B.
Lord, that's even worse.
Yeah, MGM. So, and could you imagine that? Like, think about this. MGM, okay? They have a casino in Vegas, MGM, the MGM Grand. If Amazon bought MGM, they would own a casino in Vegas. Holy shit. Like, right out of the chute. That,
Wow.
yikes.
That's a scary thought.
Yep. Here you go. More pandemic here.
2021 again. Former advisor Dominic Cummings gives a damning report to MPs in UK, Prime Minister Boris Johnson, and his government's handling of the COVID-19 crisis.
Yeah,
Like,
he
this
was. He
Doesn't know what a comb is.
He's a disheveled-looking British form of Donald Trump. But no, this guy is a piece of crap. Like, going around telling everybody, oh, you gotta hunker down in your houses, segregation.
And he had parties.
Yeah, and then he had parties. So then he turned around and he apologized, and everybody ate it up. He did nothing. He took away people's rights, and then he gave them back, and then people celebrated him. It's like, dude, he's supposed to give you more than what he took, Like, he wasn't supposed to take shit from you anyway. Giving you back what he took is not a gift. It's a right, I'm glad he's gone. So anyway, moving on up to.
I heard the person that replaced him isn't much better.
Yeah, she literally couldn't stay in there for longer than a cabbage. There's some kind of thing where British people, they compare people's terms in prime minister or whatever to a cabbage. So if you can't last long enough before the cabbage rots, it's one of their things.
British in their weird terms.
Yeah. 2021 as well, in a landmark case, oil giant Royal Dutch Shell was ordered by a Hague court to cut its global carbon emissions by 45% by 2030. So good luck. And we also have 2021 as well. 9 people were shot and killed by their colleague, a public transit employee in San Jose, California. Yikes. So...
Good Lord.
And San Jose, I believe, is just south of San Francisco. The only thing south of San Diego is Mexico. 2021, Russia reported it had started vaccinating domestic animals against the Kung flu using the Carmivacco vaccine. So now they're vaccinating animals. Alright? I guess that's better than just killing a whole slew of hamsters and cats like what China did. So...
Yeah,
and
really.
What?
I said, yeah, really.
Yeah. And last but not least, 2022, just last year, premiere of ABBA Voyage, a virtual concert with computer-generated images of the Swedish pop band and live musicians at the specially built 3,000-seat ABBA Arena in London, England. All 4 members, as well as the King and Queen of Sweden, attended. Nice. Cool. And that shall conclude the show. Once again, you can check the underbar of the description for any links you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things OMNI Coalition. For your dose of past events daily, we stream every day at 11 in the morning Pacific time, which is 12 Mountain, 1 Central,
And 2 Eastern.
Yep. For all of you and all of us, I am Xander.
I am Loki Lagan.
And
I'm Justin.
Yep, and we also had Alice on the show for a little bit earlier today, and Carrera was here for a bit too. And of course, here are you, and until you catch us tomorrow, or if you're interested in some notable events, weather, and sports, we have the OMNI Coalition News Show, Talkness, coming up at 3 p.m. Pacific Time. Anyway, whenever you see us again, until then, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!
Bye!